There are some very difficult circumstances that you have to deal with and that you witness as an attorney. If you see, a family, a husband and wife or cohabitating parents get into a physical altercation, but the children aren't harmed in the altercation, what does that mean for the dynamic about what's going to happen?
Well, domestic violence is a major concern in our society in general, and the agency takes it very seriously. There has been a shift over the years in how they deal with it. Once upon a time, if there was domestic violence in the home, the children were removed and placed in foster care, and we asked questions later. Now it's much more victim friendly. So they try to, when they come into a home and hear the allegation of domestic violence, they really try to gain an understanding of who is at fault. Is this two people, are the two people involved simply being combative with each other? Is there one person who is more subject to the control of the other? In traditional parlance, you usually have the woman be the victim and the man be the perpetrator, at least as per the agency. Of course, we know in reality that's not the case, but the agency often sees it that way. In those families, they will try to remove the perpetrator from the home so the children are not displaced. If it is both parents, if they believe that there is ongoing domestic violence and they cannot convince whomever is the victim to apply for and seek the restraints of the court by getting a restraining order, in those instances, sometimes they will remove the children from the home because they believe one parent is harming the children by exposing them to domestic violence, and the other parent is harming the children by failing to protect from the perpetrator. So it really, all of these cases are very fact sensitive, but in domestic violence cases, I always tell people, if you can just physically separate just to avoid the state having to come in and file an action against one or both of the parents to deal with the issue, you really want to try to do that while you're working out your issues. Whether you're casting fault on each other or not, the more you can do proactively to assure the agency that there's not a concern for domestic violence, the less likely your children are going to be caught up in the system.